Well, let's finish up with our project a little bit. So what's happened so far? Well, here's the. We haven't actually talked much about it. I just emailed you and said, "Kid, would you be open to playing guitar and us
Well,
using your
I know it's going to be
studio?"
good.
And so this gives us opportunity to talk on camera about this project. And what I've been doing is basically documenting this process for the students. I started off with just showing them how to use basic recording with their iPhone, like you brought up before, for self-assessment. And students at bluesharmonica.com can also record themselves playing to pre-recorded tracks, background tracks of the study songs. They send it to me for critique. The next level is working with like a laptop, GarageBand, for example, or Audacity, something that's free, using an external microphone or even the microphone built into a laptop, for example. Same idea, just more multi-track recording, for example, so they can get a little bit more detailed and like, okay, what effects am I going to add into, what plugins, or I can do punch-in recording, for example. The next step is I recorded for them, actually a student came in, actually before they came in, I showed them how I do it here at the school, and I put 2 amps there, I mic'd the amps, I showed them how to mic it, showed them what the multi-track recording is about, how to import a track, and actually had a student come in and recorded a track on camera, so they got to see what the process is to record. Then the next step is a pro project, and I sat down with Aki. He was in that chair, and we talked about the idea of doing this 3-harmonica boogie thing and what he would like to get out of the project. My concept is to do as much interaction as possible between the harmonica players. So I've written arrangements for basically horn style arrangements for diatonic harmonicas.
All right.
There's 2, maybe 3 tunes we're playing all together. One's Aki and myself, one's Gary and myself, and then on my pushing, Gary and Aki coming up with the tune together. And then each individual musician will do 2 to 3 songs as well that will intersperse throughout the album. So they're worked out parts, and most of it's pretty straightforward, 12-bar blues stuff. Every now and again, just throwing in a unique break just to change things up a little bit. And we've got a recording date already set for a Saturday and a Sunday. We got the musicians coming in. Our keyboard player, Steve Lucky, will be coming in on Sunday. Here's what I'm envisioning so far. You can just share with me your thoughts, because again, we haven't talked about this. Gary records live. He doesn't record well he doesn't overdub well. He needs to feel the band in the room. He's got to feel the bass and the kick through the floor. There's something about that he feeds upon. I feel very comfortable doing overdubs, though. The material, I'm pretty confident that I can, for the majority of it, just take 2 takes and move on to the next one. I do like the idea, and I've done this before too, where you bring in the band and just record everyone on the same day, and then I come in and do all the harp parts later. But I kind of like the idea of also doing a lot of the live stuff and just rehearsing the guys in the studio there, instead of trying to get all these excellent musicians together on a day, which can be very challenging.
Yeah, it's a whole nother day. There's that too.
Yeah, exactly. And so my thought process is to get everyone together, go ahead and start going through the tunes, but immediately just practice the tricky bits. What's the opening? What's the ending? Let's go to this break that happens before the next guitar solo. Is the groove kind of what I'm thinking? Cool. I don't like to say much to the musicians, except say this is a shuffle, this is how I bring it on the harp, and I like to get their influence of what feels right to them instead of dictating, I'd like you to play this bass part, and this is what I'm thinking for the guitar, because a lot of times they come up with a cooler part than I can come up with anyways. So my thought process is to probably start with Gary, though I'm a little afraid that he might take a lot of time and capitalize on our valuable time. Sorry, Gary.
I don't think so.
So I might start with, have Gary do his tunes with the band, and then I'll go ahead and do my tune with Gary with the band, and then I'll continue on and do, we got piano, not till Sunday, so my tunes will have piano on it. So probably we'll do Gary, then the tracks with Aki, Gary, and myself, which will take a decent amount of time because there's sections that are going on. And I think on Sunday when we come in, I'll go ahead and do my tunes right away, because then Steve will be there and I want to have keyboard on all my tunes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's an interplay between the band and the keyboard. It's not like just layering it right on top.
Yeah, no.
Then at that point, if we have anything else that we need to finish up with the harp guys, we can go ahead and do that as well. And then go ahead and have Aki record his parts. And if there's only any time crunch, we can always have, he said he feels comfortable with overdubs as well. We can always just record the band and he come in and do overdubs after the fact. Same thing with me. If there's a time constraint, I can always do the harp later. But That's the flow. That's the thought process. What are you thinking?
Well, that sounds pretty good. Sounds to me like we should probably put Gary out in the room with the fellas, and you and Aki both will be okay in the booth.
Okay.
You know, and the thing where I can put Gary in the room with the fellas, but still have his amp in a different room.
Okay. I need to, because I've done most of the arrangements, and there's some tricky signals if they can't see me. Is there a place in the studio
Yeah, they can see you.
they can see me?
Don't tell my landlord, but I got windows cut out in my walls.
Nothing, a little plaster and.
It's like a little peephole, like from a submarine.
Oh, that works. Yeah, good. As long as they can see me, that'll be just fine.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, you got to be able to see each other.
Good. And then we can have, I think Gary said vocals are fine for him to overdub, but harp is where the challenge is. So
Oh, really? Okay.
maybe, so is there any issue with blowing harp and singing at the same time and then just re-recording the vocals?
No.
I guess there would be. Would there, if he's in the same room with all the musicians and if he's singing, won't that be bleeding into the other microphones?
Not if we use headphones. I mean, I've done that with guys where we have a monitor set up. Actually, no headphones at all. But it sounds to me like we're going to need to use headphones so they can hear you, anyways. So if he's out in the room singing, it'll be very, very little picked up.
Okay.
So, yeah, I actually did a couple overdubs on Aki's record where he had been out in the room singing, but we just took it off, and the bleed was so minuscule that you could put another vocal over it, and you would never know.
Oh, good. Good. That's it. That's the whole idea. 2 days might be a little bit tight, but
Nah, you can do it. You got good players.
I think so.
And one thing that I see a lot when guys are kind of working stuff out in the studio, they'll spend half an hour, something, 45 minutes working out a song if it's tricky, and then they'll do one take, and then they'll do another one, and then be like, oh, maybe we should we do another one? I don't know, well, that one felt pretty good. Well, I screwed up that part. And I'm like, just do another take.
Yeah,
it's 5 minutes out of your life.
Yeah.
You spend half an hour getting to the point where you could do a take. Do a couple. It's so that's many takes is fine like that. If you never get one take, that's what you want. Then we'll Frankenstein one together.
Again, nobody will know.
Nobody will know.
Very good. How do people find out about your studio if they happen to live in the Bay Area, or like gentleman from Belgium if he wants to fly in and record with you?
Yeah, well, I've never had to advertise really. I stay pretty busy. So people find me. I'm on Facebook.
All right.
There's, I don't have a website to push or nothing.
Okay. On Facebook, are you under Kid Anderson or Christopher?
I'm under Kid Anderson, and I'm also under my actual name, Christopher Lund Anderson.
Okay, good. Or they can contact me and I can get them in touch.
Yeah, I
with
can
you.
contact you.
Yeah.
You'll find me. I'm big.
Very good. Hey, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Dave.
It was a pleasure sitting down with you.
Yeah, that was very enjoyable.